Alex is up again. He says, can you explain what type of YouTube ads do you use for lead gen sites? What do you show in the creative ad? Well, it just depends. Like, it depends on if you can get a good video or not. If, a lot of the stuff that I do, clients actually have had videos made from local video production companies. And so those are typically, good videos, excuse me. They're compelling enough to where they'll generate, they're compelling enough to where they'll generate a click. Somebody will click through to see the offer, which will essentially take them to a landing page, or if it's for GMB assets or lead gen sites or whatever, sometimes they'll go directly to the Google property, but for the most part, they do end up going to landing pages from paid traffic. So, but you can use PLR type videos if they're decent. Remember, the idea here is if you're targeting properly, you're going to be targeting an audience that is already in market for that kind of a product or service. And so it doesn't take a lot of pushing or nudging for them to click through, because they're already, they're already interested and, have a desire for that product or service. So, I've used PLR videos. They're not great, but they will get the trick done if you can find decent ones. Something else you can do is find, a good provider on Fiverr, for example. They're not $5 anymore. I can tell you that. You can spend easily $100 or more on a good video now, a video to be produced. But the idea is if you can get a good video produced that you can then repurpose for multiple clients or multiple lead gen sites, that's a great strategy, because you'll have a little bit of an initial investment up front to have a nice video created. But what you can do is templatize that video. In other words, and this is something you can do when dealing with a provider. And it doesn't have to be from Fiverr, guys. You can find video editors or video creators or whatever on like Upwork, for example. And a lot of times you can find some really good ones there for relatively good prices. But something that I've done in the past is I've approached a video producer to create a video that might cost me $150 or $200 up front, but I tell them very specifically that I'm going to have them create a template that then every time I get a new client, or I'm going to use it for another lead gen location or asset, for example, that there are going to be specific sections of the video that are going to be swapped out with new sections, right? So it could just be text overlays, for example, but sometimes it will be like, the logo will come in on, it will animate itself into the video, that kind of stuff, to where you pay a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but relative to the edits afterwards, it's an initial investment, but then after the template's created, then it's a real quick and easy job for that same video professional for you to send to them, and you might pay them $20 or $25, right, for each new version of the video that you have created for each new client or location. So it's an investment if you're going to use this strategy, I would recommend that you do that, because instead of using like a PLR video, because the problem with the PLR video is it's so generic that they're not all that compelling, right? So it doesn't a lot of time generate the interest or the result that you want from it. Whereas a video that is compelling, much more compelling, which if you have a custom video for a client, like again, a lot of my clients will actually have videos made by local video production companies. So they're 100% unique videos for their business. And those typically work really well. But you can have a nice template created that's unique to your business, but then you can use that over and over and over again by just swapping out certain sections to make it unique to each property or client that you're using to promote, that you're promoting for. Does that make sense? And that's something that if you're going to use that strategy, I would recommend that you do that, because it will separate you from just any other internet marketer in their mom's basement that can grab a PLR video and do the same thing you're doing. Does that make sense?